Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about section 1 to 1.6, 1.1 to 1.6 of our textbook Business Analytics, which will cover materials such as descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics, as well as big data and some other topics related to this course. So let us start. What would be the topic for today's class? So the section 1 to 1.6 covers the topic decision making, business analytics, a categorization of analytical methods and models, big data, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence, business analytics in practice, and finally, legal and ethical issues. That was defined by the Inform, a professional organizations, as well as like European Trade Commission, something like that. So learning objective of these sections 1 to 1.6 are identify strategic, tactical, and operational decisions. Second learning objective is describe the steps in decision-making process. And third learning objective is identify examples of descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. Finally, the learning outcome 4 will become the topic of describe application of analytics for decision making. Introduction of these 6 sections are the purpose of this book is to provide a sound conceptual understanding of the role of business analytics that plays in decision making process and a better understanding of successful applications of analytical methods. So what does this mean? In order to run a business, in order to run a small or big or medium sized business, some important decisions are to be made in a continuous process. So one of the important decision making is how the company is performing based on its revenue. So based on that revenue generations, important decisions are to be made. So that decision making process is done by 3 analytical approaches known as the descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, as well as prescriptive analytics. More details are coming. And also the purpose of this book is to better understanding of successful application of analytical methods. So 3 development spurred recent explosive growth in the use of analytical methods in business settings. What are those? Those are number 1, the tracking and tracking and storing of large amount of data. Without data, decision making is very difficult. So that is why tracking and storing of large amount of data is so important. Methodological development to extract knowledge from those data, and finally an explosion in computer power. So a manager make decisions that are crucial for running the business. Those decisions are strategic decisions, tactical decisions, and operational decisions. Strategic decisions are taken by the manager. Sometimes it is known to his other team member. He keep it secret. Like that involves the higher level issues concerned with the overall directions of the organizations. This is called the strategic decisions, define the organization's overall goals and aspirations for the future. These strategic decisions was mainly made by the section manager or the manager of the various section manager. So long-term goals, overall goals of the organizations. Tactical decisions concern how the organization should achieve the goals and objective set by each strategy. So the strategy that was set up, how that strategy strategic decisions could be made, could be achieved in long term, would be driven, driven by the tactical decisions. Usually the responsibility of the mid-level management. So mid-level management take the tactical decisions which influence the long-term strategic decisions. And finally, operation decisions, how the overall operations of the productions of revenue will be will continue, will be made. So for example, here operational decision affect how the firm is run from day to day. So is the some of the things of the company should be kept or should be eliminated or should be merged. So in order to have a better functions of the company. So those are the operational decisions. The domain of operations managers who are the closest to the customer, and operational decisions are the domain of operations managers who are the closest to the customer. Okay, so now decision-making process. The following 5 steps define the decision-making process. Identify and define the problem. Determine the criteria that will be used to evaluate alternative solutions. If there is a alternative and time and cost-saving solutions available, that decision should be taken. Determine the set of alternative solutions. Evaluate the alternatives. So if there is an alternative and that alternative is not time consuming and also is not cost saving, we are not going to adopt those alternatives. And evaluate the alternatives, choose an alternative. So common approaches to make decision include tradition, intuitions, rules of thumbs, using the relevant data available. So by using these common approaches to decision making are taken. What is business analytics? Business analytics is the scientific process of transforming data into insight for making better decisions. Better decisions for the company, for the small farm, for the small business. The use of data-driven or fact-based decision-making is often seen as more objective than other decision-making alternatives. Tools for business analytics can aid in decision-making by creating insight from data. So by creating insight from data, suppose I have the data. From the data, I created some table, some graph. That is from those table and graph, we get the insight of the data. What is the data is telling? Improve our ability to forecast for planning more accurately. If we can make better predictions of the company's revenue, in which direction company is going, then we can plan accurately for other growth of the company, helping us quantify risk and yielding better alternatives through analysis and optimizations. What is descriptive statistics? So in order to have descriptive analytics, or more specifically in a limited sense, if I was asked what is descriptive analytics, it is just using some past data to make some immediate decisions. So descriptive analytics encompasses the set of techniques that describe what has happened in the past. Descriptive analytics techniques include data queries. Data queries means in a server, data is in there. I use some SQL query, SQL code to extract the data, to import the data. After getting the data, I prepare some report like summary statistics table, frequency table, descriptive statistics, data visualizations, unsupervised learning. and basic spreadsheet model. Now, what is unsupervised learning? Unsupervised learning means if I have a data that has suppose 10 variables, 10 column or 10 features and 100 rows, that means 100 observations. With that 10 variables, if I find mean, median, mode, variance, standard deviation, missing below first quartile, second quartile, third quartile of each data point, each variable, then it is called the unsupervised learning technique. Basic spreadsheet means data is in the spreadsheet, and then from this spreadsheet we can create some graph by using Excel. Example of descriptive analytics techniques: a data query requests information with certain characteristics from a database. Data is in a database. I run some query to input some data. For example, there is a lot of data in the database or in the server, but I want to select data for only those who are college students. So I am picking data only for the college students because I want to do research on their sleeping habit, on their expenditure habit, on their entertainment habit, how much time they spend for the entertainment. So that is why I want to query data from the database or data server only for the college students. So a report resulting from a query may include descriptive statistics and data visualization to find the pattern or relationship in a large database. Data dashboard are collection of tables, charts, maps, and summary statistics updated as a new data becomes available. Okay, now what is dashboard? Suppose if you go to the CDC, Center for Disease Control, they have a website. In their website, you will see update is happening. If new disease breaks out, they immediately put all the warnings, all the details, how many people get affected, and what region, what are the causes, what are the symptoms, and what are the side effects of the medicines. All of these things are mentioned in the website. That is called the dashboard, and those dashboard are continuously updated on various developments or various stages of the diseases. For example, when COVID was prevalent, during that time, like the USA and world populations put a dashboard. In that dashboard, how many people are affected, how many people died, how many of them are female, how many of them are male. Those charts are put in the website that is known as the dashboard. In the dashboard, all the informations are provided so people can view it, and some cases, some dashboard also provide the data from those places. Data could be downloaded and further analysis could be done. And the next one is data mining. Data mining is an unsupervised learning technique. Data mining includes lot of things. For example, in the data, you are specifically interested for a particular region or a particular age group or a particular like zip code or a particular race or a particular gender. If you are want to do these things, then this is known as the data mining. And in order to do data mining, you want to see sensitivity analysis. For example, rural people and then urban people. So you want to see the how the like the disease prevalence between rural people and urban people. So this is called the sensitivity analysis. You are doing some kind of comparison between group. An unsupervised learning technique is a descriptive method that seeks to identify identify patterns in different types of data that are based on notions of similarity. That means cluster. So unsupervised learning means you have a lot of data. You have made 3, 4, 5 clusters of the data. So that means 5 clusters of data. First cluster of data, they are homogeneous. Second cluster of data are homogeneous between among them. For example, if you want to study the college student, and you can say that, well, freshman is a cluster because all the students in that cluster are freshmen, and then sophomore is another cluster because all the students are the sophomore. In that way, you can do the cluster analysis. Another one is correlation, whether one variable is correlated with the other. That could also be done by the association rules. So these are a few unsupervised learning. Now, predictive analytics. Predictive analytics means you are making predictions of your outcome variable. Outcome variable is known as the dependent variable. So predictive analytics consists of techniques that use models constructed from past data to predict the future, to ascertain the impact of one variable on another. So here one is the independent variable and another one is a dependent variable. So you are seeing the pattern or predictions or the predicted values for the dependent variable corresponding to an independent variable. So in the business analytics too, we will learn this predictive modeling. But here I just want to explain what is predictive analytics. Predictive analytics means you are predicting one variable with respect to another variable. So linear regression and time series will be discussed, and data mining, supervised learning techniques. So supervised means when there is an outcome variable, or there is a dependent variable, there is a response variable. If there is a variable that we need to focus to see the movement of that specific variable with respect to other independent variable, that data mining technique is known as the supervised learning techniques. Supervised learning techniques use past data to find patterns or relationship among data elements in a large database. And another one is simulation, which involves using probability and statistics to construct a computer model to study the impact of uncertainty on a decision. Okay. So now the prescriptive analytics. What is prescriptive analytics? In order to understand these word or the distinctions between descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive, let me refresh these three important words. Descriptive means with the past data, you are finding some summary statistics, mean, median, mode, minimum, maximum, missing values, some visualization. That is known as the descriptive analytics. Predictive means based on one independent variable, you are seeing the predictive value for the future time point. And then prescriptive means, so if someone visits a doctor doctor see the patients thoroughly by various results from the lab, by measuring the blood pressure, temperature, and after all of those information, doctor write a prescription. So that means doctor give a prescription to the patients, so that patients take those medicines in order to get rid of his illness, right? That is called the prescription. Here, after descriptive and predictive, then prescriptive analysis means now certain rules will be applied. That is what the prescriptive. A prescriptive model provides a forecast or prediction, not a decision, but a prescriptive model is a predictive model combined with a rule. A decision has been made, like prescriptive models that rely on a rule or set of rules are often called the rule-based model. So other example of prescriptive analytics are portfolio models in finance. And what is portfolio model? Let me discuss little bit. Portfolio model in finance. In finance, the main important variable is the return variable. I am investing my money. What is my return? 7%, 3%, 10%, 20%, 100%, 200%. So in finance, portfolio models in finance means I have lot of money. I invest some money in the energy sector, like the like the like the fossil fuel. I invest some in the stock market. I invest some in the treasury bond, which has a fixed low return, like 3%, 2%, but risk is very low. On the other hand, if I invest in the stock, return could be very high, and also risk could be very high of losing some of my money, because those people who bought Tesla share when Tesla's sale was booming, and then after reaching to 600, 700, the people who bought shares at the price of 600, 700, now they are incurring loss because of negative return, because the Tesla share falls from 600, 700 to now 300, 350, something like that. So portfolio means in entire financial investment scenario. Some of the money, suppose you have $100, $10 you invest in energy sector, like in fossil fuel, 20% you invest in the stock, 30% you invest in the treasury bond. In that way, all 100% you distributed. Some of those is giving you positive return, some of them are giving you negative return. So in such cases, prescriptive analytics are the correct example. Supply network design model in operations. So this is another one. Supply network design models. For example, if a person work in a delivery industry, like he is a delivery driver. So delivery driver, and when he start with his truck, and then from the place of his starting, the algorithm, he suggests that this will be the first one, closest one, then go that one, then go that one. In that way, they can efficiently save their important time, and also save cost of their fuel, and deliver a lot of materials. Those things could be done by using linear programming. And price markdown models in retailing. Price markdown models in retailing means it is also prescriptive analytics, because if there is a 3 gas station in an intersection, and then one gas station is selling their gas in low price, then other will mark it down and also reduce it. Otherwise, most of the people will go to that gas station, and other will not do a good business. Okay, so price markdown models in retail selling is kind of prescriptive analytics. Okay, so example of prescriptive analytics technique: models that give the best decision subject to the constraint of the situations are known as optimization model. So see, this optimization model, you will learn linear programming in the business analytics 2. Business analytics 2, you will learn this linear programming, integer programming, non-linear programming, all of these things you will learn in there. And this optimization model is highly used in delivery pattern, like the food delivery, DoorDash delivery, and Uber Eat delivery. And then Amazon delivery, some other things. Okay, simulation optimization combines probability and statistics to model uncertainty with optimization techniques and find good decisions in highly complex or uncertain settings. So decision analysis is used to develop an optimal strategy when a decision maker faces several decision alternatives and an uncertain set of future events. So there could be, we do not know, uncertain set of future events, right? Who would be our new competitor? For example, now take a look at that. Previously, internet was provided by cable, right? So by cable was provided and plug in Ethernet. Those are the things happen. Even in 2006, when I came to USA, I saw in my apartment, and then there is a wire, that wire I plug into my computer get connected with the internet, and then there are, during that time there was no Wi-Fi. Now see, the company who did not upgrade their technology, they become obsolete, their business become bankrupt, new business arrive. Now the fiber cable and broadband, all of these things, certainly now T-Mobile, Verizon, they are no longer using any cable. They just have a one just router. That router is taking signal from their tower, and then no need, just put the power, that's it, and from there we are able to use Wi-Fi, right? So that is what uncertain set of future. Our business is running very fine nowadays, but 2-3 years later, a new product, a new system will develop, which will make our business obsolete, and we will become bankrupt. So that's the reason decision analysis is used to develop an optimal strategy when a decision maker faces several decision alternatives and an uncertain set of future events. This is what I mentioned, uncertain set of future events. There could have something else better than the existing internet provider in the down the road, like the Elon Musk the internet. If someone subscribe for that, we do not need router, we do not need any modem, we do not need any power plug. We just have an account, we open the computer anywhere, we will be connected with the internet. So uncertain set of future events might cause the business to lose revenue unless new product, new development are being adjusted with the current business plan. Utility theory is a branch of decision analysis that assigns values to outcome based on decision maker attitude toward risks. Okay, after this, now this slide number 13 is very important. In this slide 13, all 17 chapters are categorized in descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics format. Chapter 1 through chapter 7 are all known as the descriptive. In introduction, which is chapter 1, there is some mention of predictive and prescriptive. So some mention of what is predictive analysis, what is prescriptive analysis. And then chapter 8 through 17 are known as the business analytics 2, which will cover materials such as linear regression, time series and forecasting, predictive analytic, data mining, regression tasks, classification tasks, spreadsheet models, Monte Carlo simulation, linear optimization, integer optimization, non-linear optimizations, and decision analysis. Okay. But business analytics 1 discusses introduction, descriptive statistics, and data visualizations, data wrangling, probability, and introduction to modeling uncertainty, descriptive data mining, and statistical inference, such as confidence interval, test of hypothesis. Those are the things I discussed. Okay. Now, what is big data? So usually the definition of the big data is that a data that a normal computer does not have a storage or power or RAM to use, so that the program like R, Python, or SAS, or some other program cannot handle that big data smoothly. So that type of data is called the big data. There is a IBM described the phenomena of big data by using four words that start with the letter V. V, one is volume, very big volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. These are the four words IBM used to describe a big data. The challenges of big data in terms of data storage and processing, security, and available analytical talent lead to the development of new technologies. So as the very big data was generating nowadays, for example, in USA, one day, how many billions types of credit card was scratched? So couple of billion times, right? Or maybe if not at least 1 billion times. So 1 billion time data credit card was swapped. Now all of data is coming, and some data need to be stored, and from that storage data need to be queried, and then the data need to be downloaded or data need to be imported, and then these big data was imported to the general machine will crash, the program will not run. So that is why some kind of cloud computing are developed. Cloud computing means R, Python, SAS, all of these things would be used in server instead of physical machine. Instead of downloading R, Python, SAS in physical machine, these are Python, SAS, or MATLAB. Those will be in the cloud, and all the petabyte data is in the cloud, because petabyte data could not be downloaded, could not be stored in an average computer. In such a cases, importing those data to those computing software is impossible. So Hadoop was developed, and Hadoop is an open source programming environment that supports big data processing through distributed storage and cloud computing. Cloud computing and distributed storage means the data was distributed in several facilities, or maybe data is saved in distributions of many features, or maybe like the first 1 million rows is these storages, second 1 million rows in another storage, something like that. And cloud computing means nothing but the computing could be done in in server. Now, MapReduce is a programming model used within Hadoop that perform two major steps: the map step and reduce step. Okay. After that, now take a look what does volume means. Volume means terabytes or exabytes of existing data to process. Okay, so very big data. Velocity means what? Streaming data. For example, streaming data, for example, when like live game are taking place, and at what time point a player score a goal. Okay, so that thing, streaming data, or someone providing um, live speech. So those are the data. So those data could be collected in milliseconds or to seconds to response. And then variety means structured, unstructured text or multimedia data, various kinds of data. And veracity means uncertainty due to data inconsistency and incompleteness, ambiguities, latency, deceptions, model approximations. So these are the meaning of the four word that starts with the V that define the definitions of big data. Okay, a data would be called is a big if it has four characteristics: volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. This is what defined by the IBM. So there are many cloud computing in like platform like the R in Cloud, Anaconda, all of these things. Nowadays, this software or tool you do not need to download. You just open an account in online cloud, and then you import your data on their framework on their setting, and then do all the analysis. Okay, the massive amount of available data have led to numerous innovations that help make the data useful for decision making. So cloud computing refers to the use of data and software on servers housed externally to an organizations via internet. So cloud computing, as I mentioned before, the cloud has made storing and processing massive amounts of data feasible, feasible and cost effective. The security of the highly confidential data stored on the cloud is critical to companies and must be protected from hackers. Data security protects stored data from destructive forces to unauthorized user. So data security, after data has been placed somewhere, and the security of that data must be maintained. Otherwise, hackers will take out important informations of individuals. Okay. Artificial intelligence and data science. Big data has also accelerated the development of applications for artificial intelligence. AI uses big data and computers to make decisions that would have required human intelligence in the past. Applications of AI include facial recognitions for security checkpoints and self-driving vehicles. The complexity of big data have increased the demand for analysis and created challenge due to shortage of qualified new hires. Data scientists are analysts trained in computer science and statistics who know how to process and analyze massive amount of data. So in this PowerPoint slide, we know how artificial intelligence come into an existence, because a lot of data was generated, code was written in such a way from those massive data, immediate and quick decisions could be made by running some query. Okay. After that, now, as it was mentioned before, like the spectrum of business analytics 1 and 2 covers this topic, which are standard reporting, data query, data visualization, descriptive statistics, and data mining. And then forecast, predictive modeling, simulation, rule-based models, or decisions and optimizations using linear programming are the materials for business analytics too. It was mentioned before also, but now it was written in a little beautiful format. Okay, now financial analytics. So financial services, the financial services sector relies heavily on descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. How? This is what now is mentioned in three different paragraphs. So descriptive analysis through data visualization is used to monitor financial performance. So data visualizations means if Tesla stock is going up, going up, going up, so some people can buy the some people can sell their stock because it is going up now. I bought it $300, now it is $600. Let me sell all of this. And some other people will buy it because they think that the stock of the Tesla will go up. Okay, so is used to monitor financial performance, like how the stock price is performing, including stock returns, trading volumes. Trading volume means in a stock exchange when stocks are traded, how many stocks are traded at once, how many stocks have been bought by myself or you. Okay, and measure of market return and volatility. Market return means if I sell my 50% of the Tesla stock, how much return I am getting. I bought $300 per share. Now it is $600 and I have 100 share. Should I sell all 100 or I should sell 50% of those? And based on that, what is the return? And volatility means, suppose in the morning when stock exchange started at 9 a.m., it looks like very good. But at 3 p.m., a global event happened. That means Saudi Arabia said that they found a big reservations of their oil. So in order to dig the oil, they need a huge investment. So that is why the current productions of the oil will go up so that more revenue could be generated. So when Saudi Arabia declared that they will produce more oil, so the price of the oil will become low for a minute. So the price is and volatile. And then suddenly 3 days later, they said that no, we will not increase productions of the oil. So it is going up again suddenly. Volatility means at certain time period of a day or a month or a week, the stock price is showing unusually high or low or performance, like the stock price went down significantly or went up significantly. That is what known as the volatile. Okay, now predictive models are used to forecast financial performance, assess the risks of involvement in investment portfolios and projects, and construct financial instruments such as derivatives. Okay, now financial instruments such as derivative, what does this mean? This means financial derivative means if I have some amount of money, financial derivative. Okay, let me specify what is financial derivative. If you have some stocks of a company, that is your financial derivative, because that is deriving some money. When stock price going up at the end of the year, you are getting like the this is known as the you at the end of the year, the share that you hold, for that share you will get some kind of profit. Okay, so financial derivative means, suppose you have a stock, or suppose you have some bonds, treasury bond. You bought some treasury bond. uh, Now you are getting return on that. Or maybe currencies. More specifically, let me tell you currency. Suppose you are a citizen of country Bangladesh, and then you have local currency, Bangladesh currency of suppose 10 million. Okay, and then you invested like 5 million of those local currency to buy US dollar, and you have bought US dollar in a exchange rate of 1 US dollar equal to 100 currency of Bangladesh. Okay, so now suppose you have some kind of knowledge, you know that 1 month later, now the exchange rate is $1 to 100 local currency. Now it will go 100 to 120. But you have bought today US dollar of 5 million equivalent local currency you bought, but 1 month later, when like the dollar value increase, then you sold it and you make a lot of money. So financial derivatives means, more specifically, financial contracts whose value is derived from an underlying asset. So stock is a financial derivative. That means you are deriving financial gain or financial loss from the financial instruments. Some people said that's financial instruments. Okay. Now, prescriptive models are used to construct optimal portfolios of investment, allocate assets, and create optimal capital budgeting plans. Okay. After that, now human resources use analytics has the mix of skill sets necessary to meet its needs, hire the highest quality talent, and provides an environment to retain it, achieve the organization's diversity goal. Okay. Now, Google uses people analytics to analyze data on its employee, because I use Google Analytics to see people are watching my website from different parts of the world. That is what. So Google also uses predictive analytics to continually update its forecast of future employee turnover and retention. Okay. Now, marketing analytics, which is a very important. Suppose you come up with a product, and that will be very useful daily product, but you have to reach to the people, right? You have to reach to the people that this product is very important. It is a daily household product, so you can have it, which will be beneficial for you. So in order to do that, marketing analytics is needed. So that means if it is a product that is specific to a particular group, you have to advertise it with that particular group of people. Okay. For example, suppose it is a very good for the students, so that they can prepare well for their exam or quizzes, then you have to target to them. In order to do that, you have to find your target populations. After finding the target populations, then you advertise your product. You will do the marketing on your product, so that your product reach informations of the product could be reached to the persons who are interested to buy it. Okay. So the use of scanner data and data generated from social media has led to a better understanding of consumer behavior and increased interest in marketing analytics. As a result, descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics are all heavily used in marketing. Predictive models and optimizations are used to better align advertising to specific target audiences, making marketing efforts more effective and efficient. Sentiment analysis allow company to monitor better the voice of the customer, whether the people are saying good about the product or bad. So sentiment analysis could be done based on the text data. Some people from the text are saying highly about the product. Some of the people are saying badly. But if more than 50% or 60% or 75% people say highly about the product, so then the product is very good, and that could be done by using sentiment analysis. What is the sentiment of the people? Now, the healthcare analytics. In the healthcare analytics, descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analysis are used to improve patient, staff, and facility scheduling. Scheduling means I want to schedule a patient's appointment, and then how can I do that? That could be done by using all of these techniques. And patient's flow, how the patients are coming, purchasing, and inventory control. These are all things in healthcare analytics could be done by using descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. The use of prescriptive analytics for diagnosis and treatment is the most critical applications of analytics in healthcare. Supply chain analytics. So supply chain nowadays is a very important thing because of the COVID supply chains disruptions and the lack of raw materials. Cheap was not cheap was difficult to produce, and you see the used car price went up significantly during the COVID, right? So supply chain is very important, and in the supply chain, the descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics are used as well. To UPS and FedEx, the optimal sorting of goods, vehicle and staff scheduling, and vehicle writing are all key to profitability. And those could be done by using all three: descriptive, prescriptive, and predictive modeling. So descriptive analytics is used to monitor supply chain performance. Predictive analytics is used to quantify the risk, like how much risks involved in the supply chain management. Is there high risk of sending the material by using this route compared to the existing route? Should we send it by air or by train or by road? So prescriptive analytics with scenario analysis is used to prepare supply chain solutions that can handle a high degree of disruptions. Okay. Now, analytics for government or non-profit. Government agencies use analytics to increase the effectiveness and accountability of program. The U.S. Internal Revenue Service uses data mining to identify patterns that distinguish questionable annual personal income tax filing. So there are many online tools are available like TurboTax, as well as IRS designated some website, and IRS itself has its website to file the taxes so that they can efficiently and effectively manage the huge data. Okay. So likewise, non-profit agencies use analytics to ensure their effectiveness and accountability to donors and clients. Descriptive and prescriptive analytics monitor agency performance, track donor behavior, and forecast donations. Data mining helps identify potential donors and minimize donor attritions. Optimizations allocates scare resources in capital budgeting. Remember, whenever optimizations are saying, optimization means the linear programming. Okay. Similarly, in sports analytics, descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics could be used. For example, suppose a soccer player in English Premier League is demanding high salary. Okay. In order to give his high salary, the management of the team analyze his performance for the last 1 year. He played 60 or 70 soccer game. How many goals he scored? How many assists for goals he did, and overall how many times he take a number of shots that is equivalent to a risk for the opponent. Those are all analysis done. After doing those things and the performance of the previous year, they decide whether they will give the desired salary that the soccer player is asking. Okay. So based on the performance, predictive, descriptive, and prescriptive analytics are used to assess the risk of losing a game, to assess the potentiality of a player to keep in their team by giving high salary, or like selling some of the players because they are taking more salary, the performance is not good. So those things could be done in sports analytics. Web analytics means suppose you want to download all the faculty of computer science in Georgia Tech computer science department. So in the Georgia Tech computer science department, suppose there are 70 computer science faculty full-time lecturer and part-time, and you want to download all of their informations, their research publications, from where they completed their PhD or master degree. Okay, what ranking, what are the rank of their journals? Okay, how many papers they published? All of the 70 faculty data you want to import in either Excel or Python or R. After bringing that, now you can do some kind of sentiment analysis. You can create a summary statistics table. You can create some bar chart, pie chart, and word cloud from the data. So that is what known as the web analytics. In such a cases, we have to use descriptive, prescriptive, as well as predictive modeling. Ethical issues. So when we use the data, we should be careful that people personal information should not be exposed publicly. Okay, so that is why European Union make a very strict rule about data privacy. So increased attention has been paid to ethical concern around data privacy and the ethical use of model based on data. Clients and customer must understand the trade-off between allowing their data to be collected and benefits they accrue from allowing a company to collect and use that data. An agreement must be signed between the customer and the company. Okay. Companies have an obligation to uphold that agreement and make every effort to ensure that the data are protected from data breaches. When data breaches happen, the hackers take away important information. Sometimes their financial information, bank account number, routing number, and they took away money from the bank. So data breaches defined an unauthorized use of data are a major concern of all companies. There is a legal issues in the use of data and analytics. The general data protection regulations, one of the strictest privacy laws that went into effect in European Union in May 2018, stipulates that the request for consent to use an individual data must be easily understood and accessible. The intended use of data must be specified and easy to withdraw and consent, and the individual has a right to a copy of their data and the right to demand their data be erased. It is the responsibility of analytics profession to understand the laws associated with collecting, storing, and using individual data. And here are the last three slide. Inform is a professional organizations where people from operation management, people from big data, people from computer science, people from management department, finance department, they attend the conferences and they have some guidelines. That guidelines are of important in order to keep the people's privacy when data are used for descriptive, predictive, or prescriptive analytics. Okay. And finally, this introductory chapter begin with a discussion of decision making. Decisions may be strategic, tactical, or operational. So business analytics can help us make better informed decisions. There are three categories of analytics: descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. Big data is data that is too large for typical desktop software to handle. Cloud computing has made storing and processing vast amount of data more efficiently and cost effectively. We have discussed various application areas of analytics. We concluded the chapter with a discussion of legal and ethical issues, the use of data and analytics. Stop recording.